For those of you that don't know, right, this is Lily Lopez. She is the president and CEO of the South Florida Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. There has to be a faster way of saying that.
The acronym SFLHCC, but everybody, regardless of the fact that we say SFLHCC, people still say South Florida Hispanic
Chambers.
Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
So in reality, we got to stick to South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce because when I tried the acronym, it didn't work.
Okay, so
People
we'll
like
do that.
that.
South Florida Hispanic Chambers of Commerce.
Chamber
Boom.
of Commerce, yes.
Chambers.
Yeah,
Chamber.
Yes.
Okay. Pretty much. And she has let's say like a podcast interview style thing where you interview, literally she interviews CEOs, prominent business people, I mean politicians, like everybody among South Florida that's very successful, right?
It's called the Business Minute with Lily Lopez.
Business Minute.
Yes.
There you go. So you have this, right? Speaking about that, actually, perfect segue. You have this Business Minute where you platform. You interview a lot of prominent people, and we never hear your story. Like you're always interviewing people, and you always talk about like
you have a point there.
You know, we hear other people's story. We hear about what other people think about their success, but you've been doing this at least when you founded this and you're the CEO of this. It's been 30 years now.
It's going to be exactly.
Why have you been so successful with it?
Well, that part I don't know. I guess because I'm a hard worker.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could be because I work hard a lot, very much so.
Okay, when you say work hard, because this
Meaning
is something
that I'm on top of everything. That even at night, if I'm receiving texts or emails, I respond to people and what have you. I don't wait till the next day. And the majority of people, not all of them, will say, okay, this is work related. Let me wait till tomorrow. But I don't have the patience and I have the stamina to respond. So this is like a 24-hour job, like a doctor who's on call, basically. But for businesses, how about that?
Did your work ethic change when you first started, or is it still the same now?
Well, no. It's a lot harder now because obviously it's a big organization. When we started the organization, it was a lot smaller. But however, I must emphasize that ever since day one that we started, that I founded the organization with a group of like maybe 9 or 10 young professionals at that time. We had events and they were really big. I mean, even the first event was like 90 people, which is a lot. I come from events like from other organizations and I just went to one. It's like, like 40 people, 50. There's some that could have 100, 150. But we get in this room in the building where we're now today, like every 3 weeks, like 350, 400, and 470 people. So that's a lot. But basically, we always did get a good turnover people, a lot of people participating in the chamber.
And now, like, you fill up rooms with like 500 people, no?
Yeah, exactly. Here it's 475.
475.
The maximum, yeah, we do.
So how did you believe in yourself when you first started? Did you have the vision that you wanted to have X amount of people? Because I want you guys to realize when you talk about like the people that are in the room, they're not just like people. They're very like they're CEOs
right,
of
exactly. They're presidents of banks and there's entrepreneurs.
How did you believe in yourself?
I guess the thing is that I was always born and I knew I was a communicator since I was very young. Even when I was 18 or 19, I remember I would talk politics in groups of men and they would all pay attention to me. So that gave me confidence slowly to realize, since I like politics a lot and I studied political science, that I could talk to people.
Yeah.
So I realized, when I worked in the Spanish American League Against Discrimination as executive director, we're talking back 1991.
Yeah.
Around that area. I was just a graduate from St. Thomas University in political science, and I also studied journalism. I realized that, and I received a lot of confidence from the chairman of that organization and the past chair of the organization, which were Osvaldo Soto, God rest his soul, he passed away, and Dr. Eduardo Padron, who was the president of Miami-Dade College, of all the colleges.
Okay.
He retired like 4 or 5 years ago. So they sort of like guided me in that nonprofit and helped me to be secure about myself that I could speak. And they made me do press conferences. They sent me to the radio. I would do like a votathon, which means, okay, let's get people registered to vote.
So they kind of steered you.
They sort of, exactly. And they empowered me. And that's important because when you're young, if you don't have someone next to you that says, okay, you can do it. Because I would say, what do you want me to do? I'll open the press conference? Yeah, of course you can do it. So, you get the confidence, right? If I say that to you and I give you a microphone, maybe you do it too. So you need always people that are mentors that will tell you, they give you a little push, you can do it. And they did that for me. So then we started the organization, the chamber. I already have like 2 years experience. But there was a need for a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
With that though, with the support and like the support of those people where they're still doubting your mind, like can I really do this? Can I really build?
Probably not. I guess you always need someone to tell you can do it. Maybe I could have,
I'm
but
saying,
it would have taken longer.
did you ever, like with that support, did you still doubt yourself that
I think I didn't that much because I'm a talker and I'm a communications person. So once they told me, they gave me the green light, you can do it, I went ahead and said, okay, I can do it. But that's important, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a combination of two factors. The confidence and being a communicator, being able to put those together. Right?
For someone out there, and I want to get into, I want to wrap this segment of actually learning like your rise to it. But another thing that I think self-consciously that you don't realize that you're a master like communicator. Like you know how to put people in the room together. You know how to like, and that's very hard.
Okay, that I don't see it that much. Okay, so maybe people see it and I don't. Okay.
But that is something that like to bring people together, to communicate, to convey. I think what you do is you convey to somebody why it's important to be a part of this.
Of course.
And I think that's
and it is important.
How do you get people to see that vision? Like when you see a CEO, right? You see a CEO of a company, you're saying, hey, being in this is more beneficial if you're not in this. Like you're making them see the vision. How do you make someone see your vision?
The fact of the matter is that this is really Miami-Dade County. It's a melting pot of people from all cultures, and the majority of people are from Latin America. 70% are Hispanics. So I've been trying to send that message out there, and I think it's working. But we're still far away from where we should be. And I don't know if we want to talk about it in the next segment, because I'm very passionate about the fact that we're Hispanics, we're 70% of the population, still we're not getting our fair share about what corporate America is supposed to be doing and giving, not only to the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, but to Hispanic-based, community-based organization. Corporate America doesn't really take us that seriously. They sort of participate, but usually you get the minimum. That's a subliminal message that you are less. And we get that. And many Hispanic organizations in the United States of America get less than any other ethnic group or any racial group. Hispanics get less. And that's a subliminal message that is sent from corporate America and even from Hispanics within corporate America. They don't have budget, but they don't have that much budget for Hispanic charities and Hispanic causes as they do for other causes. And it's really interesting, the fact that when you see Hispanics in those corporate positions, that their mindset changes and they believe they're not Hispanic anymore, that they're more Anglo than anyone else. And it's controversial, but I speak it up. I say it. I say it like it is.
I want to get to that controversial topic because I think that's very important for people. Extremely important for people to understand. Kind of going back to your business talks, right? The business minute. Was there something that somebody told you, or maybe an off-camera situation, because you're getting in front of people that are very, very successful, that are just like, they told you something like an advice, something like career-related, anything that just had like a radical change that you were just like...
While I was doing the show?
Yeah, like...
Probably not, because I started the show like 4 years ago. So maybe that radical change, or someone who told me, well, you're asking me, someone told me when we started the organization.
Do you remember maybe something?
I remember, someone who was like a chairman emeritus of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who told me, because I would get like, uptight and upset sometimes when I saw what I'm telling you about today, 30 years from then, that there's not that much corporate support when it's a Hispanic organization. Not only us, other Hispanic organizations, not only in South Florida, but in the whole United States of America. So he told me, you got to take it slowly. And he's an older man. And he was like a mentor. He said, tienes que calmarte. Porque si vas a seguir así alterada, no vas a poder avanzar. Right? I'm not going to be able to move forward if you're just all the time upset at seeing things are not fair. So you might as well just go the route, do what you have to do what you think is best, and take it from there. But not get so uptight, which I used to, because I see it, and I would hate the fact, still today, 30 years later, of what I see, right? The discrimination.
I feel like when people they believe in something a lot, like what you're saying, you believe in a cause or you believe in a problem that you see, you see and you're fighting for
in the whole
every
US.
Day.
Exactly.
How do you go forward and actually make progressive change, fixing that problem without, you said, giving into the anger and being so frustrated? Like, how do you make those gradual steps? The way that I see it, right? I think we both know the problem's not going to change tomorrow.
Oh, no, of course not. Of course not. No.
So how do you see the problem? You know it's real, and slowly it's going to be like a 10-year, 20-year game until like...
You have to just very slowly say whatever it is that you have to say. I mean, without offending anybody, but be very firm. And I say it to whoever tells me something. I'll just go ahead and be very blunt and say what I have to say.
Do you think bluntness is good or bad?
It's I mean, it depends on who you're talking to. But at this point, like basically, and I'll give this advice to everybody, be yourself and don't depend on anybody, because if you don't depend on anybody, you can say whatever you want. If you're yourself, you can say whatever you want. However, you depend on a lot of people, then you have to be careful what you say. But in this case, when you see that there's not that much support for Hispanics within the U.S., listen, there's more even Pacific Islanders or what have you holding corporate board positions in the United States of America, when Hispanics are the largest minority in the United States, when if we were a nation, our purchasing power and the GDP would be more than England, would be more than France. If we were a country, imagine that. That's how much we contribute. Then again, we're not even in Hollywood. Have you noticed that? In Hollywood? Like, what are the Spanish actors? Hardly, right? Spanish actors? No, they usually portray the villains, and the women are the prostitutes. So, and we're the ones who go more to the movies. Isn't that true? We go to the movies more. Hispanics, according to statistics, Hispanics are the ones who go more to the movie theaters. Yet again, there's only the tokens, right? The same women that you see that portray Hispanic characters, that you see them in the magazine. Open a magazine, and what Hispanic do you see really? There's a lot of people, all ethnicities, all nationalities, but you don't see Hispanic models. Where's the top Hispanic models?
I want to ask you
Where are
something.
the top Hispanic actresses?
I want to ask you
Except
something.
the tokens, there's like 3. Sofia Vergara, Jennifer Lopez, and Eva Longoria. But I don't really see that many Hispanic actresses in Hollywood, yet we are the ones who pay in the theater, right? So we're really subsidizing. So why aren't you speaking up? Why isn't anybody speaking up the way we have to speak up?
Very passionate
It's not
about
fair.
it.
Of course it's not fair. And it's not right.
I want to get to a second because I feel your passion. I know I want to ask you the right questions.
Yes,
but
of
I have
course.
one last question that I hear from you. Right? You said that when you are yourself, you have the ability to say whatever you want. Now, maybe it's not a social cause right now, but I think people are not struggling. But there is a problem that they don't know who they are. They don't know what they bring to the table. They don't know what they want to be. They think that they are what their title is instead of who they really are, what their beliefs are. Like you believe in this cause and you're fighting for it. You know who you are. You know you're a woman that's powerful, that's going to fight through a problem no matter how long it takes. Someone that you are. For somebody that doesn't know who they are, someone that's really like, when they sit home, they're like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want to be. I don't know who I am. How does someone figure out like who they are?
Well, they have to know where they come from. They have to know who their parents are, their grandparents, their history, right? Where they were born. And you have to have a passion for that, because sometimes people get confused in the U.S. And you know, mind you, I'm very happy and proud that I came from Cuba when I was 3. And I'm so proud of being a United States citizen. Very grateful to this country. Absolutely. Very grateful. But you have to know where your roots are from. And if they have like the border open for everybody to come in, and we're Hispanics and we're really, paying tax dollars and giving so much, giving back to the community, we need to be respected too.
Yeah.
That's important.
So,
So you
another
have
thing.
to know. You have to know where you come from.
I think
and your
you do-
roots. And
you-
don't forget, because some people, when they get here from another country, it gets to the point that they just want to speak in English and they forget about their roots. And don't forget it, because if you move to Ohio or to any other place, you're not anything
And I think
important
it's-
anymore.
I think it's forgetting.
Yes, forgetting your roots.
Don't forget
And your values.
Yeah, don't forget your roots and your values, but also don't believe that you are just your roots. Because if you came from a under-income family or something like that, you can't believe that you're just from that, but you have to remember where you came from. I think that's...
Where you come from, you need to be humble. Exactly.
Exactly.
You can move
Being humble,
forward.
exactly. Moving forward.
You have to move forward. And you have to get, study and get a top position and make money, but always remembering your humble beginnings. And
Exactly.
always
I
helping
think-
and giving back those who need more help. Because some people forget. Once they have it, they're up there, they got money, they even forget their family and friends where they came from. And that's not good. That's not who we are as Hispanics. We have to give back. To give back and remember and think of and treat everybody equally with as much respect. Like here, people who work here come to me, I hug them, and you embrace them. It doesn't matter that they're serving me the coffee or whatever, but you treat them well, because they have to have their dignity, they're professionals and they're working hard. But sometimes people forget. You forget where you come from.
You think it's
And
the
you
title,
can't-
the status, and the title
yeah,
that...
some entitlement, and some people forget, and it's not good. It's good to bring you back to earth. Let's come back to earth. Let's come back to earth. We're all here for a purpose. We're here to serve and to just give back and just not be thinking that you're way up there. No, we're all human beings. We have to embrace each other and be together.
I like that.
Yeah.
Last question is I'm really curious because you really do get in front of a lot of prominent, very successful people. Is there like a common puzzle piece that they all have that have taken them to where they've been? Like when you really like sit down with them, when you talk with them, when you see them, when you see their mannerisms, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way, like, is there like a common puzzle piece of like success that they all have?
The majority of the people, when you are secure, there's no reason to behave arrogantly. So I think people who are secure are successful. They know that they have to be humble with everybody, even whoever serves you the coffee or the person that you're giving an award to who's the CEO of a company on stage. You have to treat everybody the same. So the majority of the people that are way up there know, but sometimes they forget. So it's good to bring them back. But the majority of the people that I know are good people, nice people. But there are exceptions, like there are exceptions to every rule. And sometimes there are some people who are arrogant and forget. But I could tell you that the majority of the people in the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce that have a high level position, they're down to earth. And that's, I think, what attracts everybody. Everybody feels a sense of unity, and nobody thinks I'm superior. This guy's, and that happens in other organizations. When I've been as guests of other organizations, there's a hierarchy. This is a top person. This is the other one. Here, I think that everybody in the South Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, everybody's humble, more down to earth, regardless of your position and regardless of your economic status, and that's important. And I think that's what attracts the people.
When you like look at their career, when like you talk to them, I'm saying, is there like something like that they all have that has made them successful?
Probably, you know what I think? They're perseverant. They work hard. You have to work hard, and some people don't want to. There's a lot of people who don't want to get, calls or return texts or whatever. There's a lot of people that just like to work the 9 to 5. Hey, and that's fine. You want to work 9 to 5, that's fine. But the people who really are successful are the people who work 24 hours. People who are responding to emails, to texts, and this and that. You're successful if you work very hard. If you want to live a comfortable life, I don't think you can be an entrepreneur. I don't think you can be a successful executive. If you want to be a 9 to 5 person, you just can't. 9 to 5 is just a regular worker. But even people here, like the captain manager here, who's is a great gentleman. He's here 24 hours a day. He's a top person. So it doesn't matter what career you have, but if you are committed and you have a passion for what you do, you have to work hard. You have to work hard. That. Yeah, you have to work hard.
So I want to end off obviously talking about the chamber, right? Why are you so passionate about it? I think that's the best question I could have asked, because you see it in your voice. You see it in your eyes. Like when you talk about the thing, you it's like you see the problem and you're just like working at it. Like, why are you so passionate? Like, why do you care so much?
I care because I'm saying, like I say in Spanish, and I recently received a couple of months ago an award from an organization in Broward. And I gave a speech, and then I remember, I'm a disruptor. I told my husband, I'm a disruptor, because I say it like it is. And it's good because everybody, whatever I said, got them all happy, and they all stood up. And it was like, I was keynote. I received the highest award they give, and then after me, there were other panels, but they couldn't flow because everybody made a line to say hello to me and take a picture with me, and they liked what I said, because I said to everybody, hispano, no te dejes, porque aquí hay muchos de ustedes que están en compañías importantes y no se acuerdan de sus raíces. They forget about their roots. Don't let people pat you in the back, because when they have to fire you, they'll fire you. Remember your roots and give back to Hispanics. Hispano ayuda a hispano. That's, what African Americans do. They support each other. That's what the Jewish community does. Like, they support each other. Hispanics don't tend to support each other that much. That's the problem that I see. They don't. Once they're here, they think they're more Anglo than anybody. And no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not, because you have a position maybe today because you were lucky or you were very smart. But be careful. You have to be careful, because one day if you, for whatever reason, they lay you off or whatever, in that position, who's going to help you? Your Hispanic brothers and sisters, right? That's what's going to happen. So that's why I'm very passionate about that.
The passion comes from, you see the lack of unity.
I see the lack of unity. Even though we have a lot of people and we're so grateful, but I see it. Even by events and things that we do, when you ask, Like if we have a foundation and we give scholarships.
Yeah, I saw.
And
Almost
we-
$1 million. Almost $1 million.
$1 million dollars, but imagine how much we could do more if people gave us more. And we have the education enrichment program with Southwest Airlines. That's a great organization and company that helps us with students who are financially disadvantaged, and we take them on a paid trip. And I partner with companies such as Boeing, Microsoft, Facebook,
Humongous
Comcast,
companies.
all of that. And I bring these kids that have never even flown on a plane, and they're high school students. You bring them. But imagine if we had the support, but we don't. And there's companies here, banks. Hey, I could give, I'm not going to say it, but there's a company yesterday that we asked them to get 5 tickets for our 30th anniversary gala. And they said no, they had no budget.
No budget.
Yeah, that's MIA, Miami International Airport. How could they say to me, and I'll say, that they have no budget, 5 tickets, when they know that we raise funds for scholarship programs and all of that. And there's a lot of Hispanic people there, even the director. And I know that there's a lot of cuts and this and that. But when it comes to other organizations, they will probably say yes. But they said no to the Hispanic Chamber. And I take that personally because MIA represents Latin America. We're the gateway to the Americas. Everybody that flies here goes to Latin America, right? We're one of the busiest airports. So like that, we have other institutions or banks and that say no to us when they're supposed to saying yes. Banks. How many people do you have that they have their mortgages with you, right? Banks. So we're serving Hispanics that maybe eventually will be your employees, and you're saying no to us. But if it's another organization that's not Hispanic, they'll say yes. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Because it's a subliminal message or maybe direct message. You're less. You deserve less. You deserve a no. Or maybe you deserve half of the sponsorship that you want when we're raising funds for Hispanic students who may be, by the way, your employees. How are we allowing that to happen? Right? We're allowing even Hispanics to do that to us. I think that's very wrong. I think it's wrong. When there's service and you're helping people, and it's wrong. You're supposed to have the budget for Hispanic organizations.
I think what I hear is that your success has been comprised of taking it personal and seeing the problem and saying,
not personal, but seeing that if it happens to us, imagine how many people are suffering, right? Yeah. If you're in a position, if you're not on a top position, you're Hispanic, you're in the mid-level or whatever, it's going to be difficult for you to really go up that corporate ladder. It's difficult. If you make it up there, it's because you're brilliant, right? But if you don't, that means, you encounter a lot of opposition. And once you're there, you better behave. Because, there's Hispanics that do that too. There's Hispanics way up there that say, in banks, I have no budget. Yet they have budget for Anglo organizations, right? What's the difference between a Hispanic organization that's been 30 years around, that's been helping, students of the business community, and an Anglo organization and other organizations, right? What is the difference? Why are we different? Why is there a no sometimes to us? And mind you, we're very appreciative of all the support that we have from so many people in corporate America and so many,
So I think,
it's just,
honestly,
it is.
I think a part of it does come from.
I see it.
I think it's just seeing the problem, being so passionate about trying to solve that problem. I think that's what it boils down to.
And also, just seeing the truth, saying what it is.
Seeing the truth, exactly. Seeing the truth, knowing that
yes,
something is true when other people are perceiving it as not.
Yeah, there's a lot of Hispanic students. And when we work with the Academy of Business and Hospitality on Miami-Dade County Public Schools, those are kids that really need help. I've taken students on a trip that never even been on an airplane, crying in an airplane. What is the difference between that Hispanic student and any other student of another ethnic or a racial group? There's no difference, right? So why should we get less for those students? When we are the majority, when the parents and the grandparents are here and they're working hard and they're trying to make a living and they contribute with their as taxpayers to the economy in whatever level that they can because they're poor. But you have to help them too. So that's the only thing that I see. And that's why I say I call myself a disruptor, because I'm saying it like it is. Because I see it. When you're on this side, when you're on the side of asking, when you're on the side of asking, you see who's really committed to the Hispanic community and who is not.
I was going to say.
When you ask and they say no.
I think you said it beautifully.
I said it. I nailed it.
You're on the side of the on the asking side and the disruptor side. And I think now,
of course.
And I think that's the bowl to the interview, because
that is.
I think we need more disruptors
right
now, especially young people. And I think this is why the podcast is a thing.
It's important. Your podcast is very important to send that message.
Because I don't think young people understand it enough, because it's not something that we think very like in the moment. We're like, why would I care about
And
something
not
20
everybody
years down?
asks. If you don't ask, hey, if I wouldn't be in this position, I wouldn't even know either.
And I think that's okay, but I think what I'm getting at is like being the disruptor and not standing for. Right now, we're in a time where everything is okay because we're not allowed to speak up against it. Because if we do, then the repercussions are a lot more than if we don't. So we say, let me not speak out against this because
And
I'd
they're
rather
scared,
be safe,
but
and
it's
I'm
not good.
scared.
But it's not good.
Not good because
It's not
you're
good.
actually doing more harm.
You're doing
than
more
good.
harm.
And I think right now,
For yourself and for the community in general.
and I think the time that we're living in right now, for anybody hearing this right now, we're living in a time where the disruptors have to rise. The people that are speaking out against
if
things
not, they
that,
step over you. People.
if
step
not,
over
they
you.
stepped
Yeah.
over you, and if not, you become one of them. And I think that's the most beautiful way that we could have ended this.
It is absolutely.
And
I agree with you 100%.
And I really thank you for your time because I know you guys are extremely busy. But I have one
No,
last
it's my
question.
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
One last
I love
question.
meeting young people like you who are passionate.
Thank you.
One day you'll be like me when I'm not around.
One last question. When somebody comes up to you, young people, right? Like you said, you like meeting young people. When the young people say, I want to be successful, or whatever they do, whether they want to be a CEO, the entrepreneur, a podcast, or whatever, say, I want to be successful. What is it that they're doing that you say in your head, oh yeah, this kid's got it?
You can see the discipline. That's a word, number one word, discipline. If you're not disciplined, if you want to wake up late the next day, I mean, we all like to sleep. That's the weekend. We have the weekend. But if you're not disciplined and you don't have a schedule and you say, I'm going to wake up at this time, I'm going to work until this time, even at night, I'm going to do this and that. If you don't have discipline for that, then you won't make it. It has to be discipline. You have to have the discipline that you're going to do this. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to make it, and I will do it. Whatever it takes, I will do it. But the discipline is the key. What?
Discipline.
Discipline.
I think that's the key word.
Yes, exactly.
And I really hope you guys, if you guys did make it to the end, I really hope you guys did enjoy it. I know this one was a little bit more controversial topics. I would like deeper topics. It's not, and it is important.
It's important
not just
to let people
topics.
know.
It's not just topics. It's not always just about career development, about leadership. Because yes, you can know everything about how to get to the position that you want to, but if you get to the position you want to, you don't know how to act when you're there, like you said, and you act like, oh, I forgot where I came from.
Where I came from, and you don't help your own kind, then what? Then what? Right?
I think that's important.
It's important.
I thank you guys for making it tonight. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to check out all the links. Check out the Instagram. Follow the Instagram for clips. Check out the YouTube shorts. I'm going to tag everything, all the links that you have, your LinkedIn,
Well, thank
everything.
you for having me. What a pleasure.
And seriously, I thank you for your time.
And I wish you much success. I know you're going to be very successful.
Thank you.
Just by seeing you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'll see you guys on the next one.